Hello everyone and welcome back to Traderbook. My name's Ramon and today we'll be going over some analysis on oil, gold and a little bit on dollar index. Just before we get started, I'd like to remind you that none of this is investment advice and this is all for educational purposes only. Also, I'd like to remind you that if you like what you see, please go to www.traderbook.co.uk where our mentorship program will begin on the 1st of February. So if you'd like to join, it is a limited space and limited availability right now. So please get to us and contact us ASAP. Today, we'll get straight into it and we'll go on to US oil. You can see last week we spoke about that resistance area of $54. And since then we have had a pullback. So our confirmations have been quite accurate and we've seen a good little bounce off $54, just under $54. So we will be looking at a short position in the coming days on US oil, just as long as it holds this momentum to the downside. I think we will be seeing a little bit more of a pull up just before we go down. So there will be quite a lot of consolidation potentially on the 4-hour time frame. But you can see from last week we have been waiting for that touch on the $54 and we've got it this week, so it will be interesting to see where we go from here. I'll definitely be looking to maybe get into a short position just around that 51.50 mark if that gets broken over here, and then maybe we can go on from there. So it just definitely depends a lot on what happens this week, where we take this trade and if we enter to a short position. So we will definitely be keeping an eye on it. So we have had the rejection here, as I mentioned before, on the $54. What we also have on the 4-hour time frame is a little bit more of a confirmation over here. So as you can see over here, when price did touch that 53, just about $54, we've had a double top over here. So price got to here once on the $54, straight shot back down to $52, went back up to 54, didn't like it again, and this is a pattern that we call a double top here. So on the 4-hour we did see an inclination that we will see lower highs. So we did move back all the way to 51.7 and we're now ranging in that margin of 52, between $52, 53, yeah, just to say under $53. So really we want to see a break around that 51.50 mark to really take us down all the way. I do feel like there is a sell incurring, especially because the dollar's rising as well, but we will take precaution before we get into any trades. Like I said, there have been people who have shorted from this area. Fair enough to you, but I would need a little bit more confirmation before taking a trade like that. So we will just be monitoring this area, and like we mentioned before, this is a very, very strong resistance area dating back to 2019. So as you can see here, we've had sales just around at the same price, probably just a little bit higher, maybe 53.2, 54.2, sorry. So yeah, we've seen a lot of selling pressure around this price. So it was very, very likely that we were going to see more selling pressure on this side. But what we really want to see is we want to see a strong breakdown all the way to $50 at least, just around here. If not, we want to take it all the way down to $45 and so on. I do believe we are due a pullback. We have seen OPEC really push price up, and they're quite determined to keep doing that. But I feel like just as now we're seeing a bit of pump on the dollar, we will see another pushback on US oil. So if you'd like to keep up to date with us, again, if you want to see good positions and more detailed analysis on this chart, please go to traderbook.co.uk, sign up to our mentorship program, and we will give you a lot more detail and price action, especially on US oil. Now there is a very big trades to be made on this pair, so on this chart we will be moving towards quite large profit margins and risk to reward ratios just around here. So yeah, just we'll be looking at this at a fair amount in the coming weeks as well. But $54, we captured a really good trade here if we were to go in. But again, with our trading styles, we like to be a bit more wary on risk, so we're just going to wait for a break on that 51.50 before we take any trades to the downside. If we look over here on the daily, again we see that selling pressure. We see one daily candle going all the way down. Now we're going to see that push back up, so we really want to see this daily candle close lower. If we do see a lower close on the daily, I think once that 51.50 mark gets broken, we'll take a sell down and we'll get a good little risk to reward ratio, maybe 4-1, 3-1, and take this trade all the way down to maybe around at $45, $46, that margin. But once we're in the trade, we'll find our target a little bit better. So that is our analysis for oil. So taking you on to gold. Now on the weekly time frame, gold is looking like a very, very good buy. Again, we have a pin bar that's formed. Obviously, if you've been looking at the charts, you'll know that on the Sunday we've closed, when we opened at a very low price, so we've hit that 1800 target that we've put on here, and we literally bounced right off it here on the moving average, and we are going to push up more towards a higher target. But what we need to do is we need to find more confirmation before we look at any buys on gold. So taking you onto the daily time frame, what we really want to do is look for consolidation. We look for price edging up to the higher side before we get into anything. Gold has been a buy for a very long time, and I've been mainly buying gold. I don't sell gold at all. I try to avoid selling gold. So we are looking for buys and buys only. Now this chart may look a little bit intimidating to some of you, but it's really, really straightforward. Now we've seen price hit there at 1800 and bounce straight back up to a pin bar. I would really want to see a close like this by the end of the day to sort of give me a more bullish impression of where gold is going to go. A lot of people have left their buy marks on 1800, so it's a really good level to buy from, I believe. And the way we saw price act on the hourly, we've got that straight bounce on here and we're moving higher and higher. I would really want to see a break in about that 1850 mark. If we see higher price action than 1850, then I would say it would be quite a bullish market at the moment, and probably very, very good opportunities to buy. Now personally, there will be a lot of entries on this for me, but again, if you'd like to follow us on what entries we take and what positions we're in, then please go to traderbook.co.uk, sign up to our mentorship programs, and we will give you everything you need to start trading or to level up on your trading and get some serious profits. So gold is actually looking like a very good buy. Again, like I mentioned, on the weekly we have this area, and if we go to the 4 hour, I will show you what that area is. Now I've drawn this area up quite a long time ago actually. What we have here, this was dated about July 2020. We have a serious area of consolidation while gold was making that break to the higher levels. So this area of consolidation was resistance at that point, but then once it was broken up to the higher side, it just now became support. So as you can tell, we've had another retest here. It did break a little bit lower over here on this area, but it was just the area of confluence where price was going to bounce regardless. It just needed a bit of push to the trend line, and then up we go to the higher levels. Now when we look at it from this perspective on the 4 hour, we see a nice wick form on this area of 1800. This usually indicates that a lot of buyers and a lot of hedge funds and banks have put their buy orders at that level. It being 1800, a round number, I'm not surprised. I do believe we will see higher gold. I think gold will always go higher. We've had a pullback since our highs at 2000. Looking here on the daily, we do see evidence that we will move to a higher level. I think we will be moving in the coming year. I would say we will definitely break this 2072 level. According to most banks and most analysis traders do, we have seen a bigger push on gold around that area. So 1800, really good key area. Big break. If we do see any lower movement, if we do see a close today under this level, then that will exploit levels just below, and we'll follow up on that analysis next week. Or if you go to traderbook.co.uk, by the time February comes around and we start our mentorship programs, you'll be fully aware of the levels to keep an eye on, and where we buy from, and our risk to reward ratios. And we give you literally the breakdown of everything you need to know to get in on these trades. So that's where we are with gold. And obviously, if we go to the dollar index now, we spoke a little bit about it pushing higher last week. So we do see that level now hit on the moving average on the daily. So it'd be very interesting to see where we close on this. Overall, we will look at a sort of just a minor decline in dollar at the moment, but overall, I think we'll probably push higher on the US dollar just because of fundamental analysis and market sentiment. We will be pushing a little bit higher, at least to that trend line here that we've got dating back. You can see all these areas where we thought dollar will break through, but it obviously just kept making lower highs and lower lows. So we right now have a yearly sentiment of shorts in the dollar index. So I wouldn't look too much at long in any pairs on dollar at the moment, but we will definitely be looking at more of the sideways movement and this channel here forming. So if we do have a break on this channel up towards this MA here, we will be looking at maybe a bullish sentiment, a change in sentiment, and more of a bullish sentiment. But so far we've been consistently seeing lower highs and lower lows. So we'll stick to short in the dollar at the moment. But so we'll be looking at more of these pairs next week, especially US oil. I hope to see that break that level with gold as well. Any push above the MAs, we'll be looking at more of a buy sentiment. And again, if you'd like to join our mentorship programs, we'll let you know on the levels to look out for and buying areas. So we will be definitely focusing more of a buying market in this situation. Once again, thank you for your time, and we will be looking forward to going over some more analysis in the coming weeks. And yeah.